the finger sensor, the outside of the phone. When we turn to the side, the lettering is in gold. Now when you look at the old iPhone boxes, you'll see that it was silver. So for the silver ones, it was always silver. So for the gold version, they actually went and did the gold lettering. The Apple's gold, as you can see right there in the reflection. Now what we're going to do is just open it up. Whoa. And here's the phone. Now you do notice that it does have a nice gold color, or aka champagne, all around the phone. Right. What else do we get in the box? Here is the information paper. Open this up. So inside of here, you'll get the information really quickly on the iPhone 5 itself, and you'll also get the Apple stickers. Does anybody actually ever use these? Leave a comment down below and let me know. I've never actually used the Apple stickers. Next, inside of the box, we do have the headphones. They come in a nice packaging for on the go. You have the wall plug, the standard iPhone, iPad wall plug. And you also have the lightning connector charging cord. So it's a USB with a lightning connector at the end of it. So you can plug it into the wall charger or into your computer to transfer data from the computer to the phone, and also charge the phone as well. Now what we're going to do right now is let's get a closer look at the phone. Alright, so now as we take a look at the phone close up, you do notice that they kept the same front camera. This camera is a 1.2 megapixel camera, but it does do 720p video. So now they've actually brought your FaceTime videos into the HD era. When we flip the phone over, you will notice that on the back you do get a nice 8 megapixel camera with a 1.5 pixel. So basically the 1.5 pixels is on the lens itself. They've made them a little bit bigger so that way they can receive more light and get you a really nice crisp clean picture. On the back here you also do have the dual LED lights, so you do have the warmer light on the bottom and the brighter flash on the top. So Apple went with this idea to help with the flash problem. When you would take a picture with your phone, especially at night, you get like a really bright white flash, and it will make your subject have a really white hue on them and the background really dark. So Apple went with the feature of having two LEDs, so that way it balances out to kind of make the subject look nice and still get the background picture as well. On the back you will notice the gold color throughout the phone. So right here, the speakers are all gold, the headphone jack, the SIM card slot, power button, volume up, volume down, the mute switch, all are in gold. As well as, let's flip it upside down real quick, the finger sensor. So let's now power her up and see what happens. Alright, so what we're going to do right now is turn this phone on. Now you do notice that there is a little ring around where the home button used to be, and they got rid of the square because that now is the sensor for your fingerprint. So we'll just turn it on, put your thumb on it, and it reads it really quickly. Looking at the phone, they have updated it with iOS 7, so they went through and revamped the actual software in iOS and gave it a nice newer look. It's looked the same for all the phones, so they gave it a really fresh update. Inside this phone, we are running the A7 processor chip, which is about 64 gigs. You also have the M7 chip for motion and things like that for your fitness apps. And the phone, let's see, inside the battery life, you will get about a 10-hour talk time on 3G, 10 hours on the Wi-Fi, video playback up to about 10 hours, and if you're just playing straight audio on this phone, you get up to about 40 hours of playback. And that's really impressive for this phone. Now, when you're looking at the screen, if you look at the app, and you see when I move it, it almost looks like the wallpaper is separate from the apps, which it is. It's not all in one. So it is the wallpaper, and the apps are like hovering above the wallpaper. So when you see when I move it, it gets that cool 3D look. Now they did go through and they have some of the original features. So your notifications, you still swipe down and you'll get like your calendar updates, stock, and things like that. Swipe over, whether you have your bank apps open or Twitter and things like that, notifications will be here. And then on this one is all like your missed calls and stuff. Now when we go from the bottom and swipe up, now a lot of you Android users are going to say, oh, Android had it first. That's okay. They actually went through and added something that all phones do need. Instead of having to go all through your settings to find these buttons, they made them accessible to you right from the home screen or the lock screen or anywhere when you're using the phone. Now you'll notice you have your airplane button for airplane mode, the button to activate Wi-Fi, the button for Bluetooth, the button for sleep, a button for auto rotate lock. You'll have your brightness level right there. You also have your player, so you have your play controls, volume, airdrop, where you could drop files in and share them with other iOS users and sharing files. Your AirPlay button. They made a dedicated flashlight button, so instead of having to go through your camera, turning the flash on to use your flashlight at night, or when you need to see something, you can just hit the button, and there it is, ready to work for you. You also have a calculator button, which brings up the calculator, and your camera button. Now, when using iOS 7, I really like it. It's really fast. It's really useful. You hold down the button. Even Siri's been redesigned. You get a different look. You can say like, "Hey Siri, what part of Boston is a Chinese restaurant in?" And she'll look it up for you. So let's try something out here. What time is the Patriots game?
The Patriots-Panthers game is next Monday at 8:40 p.m.
So Siri's actually really been updated, and they really went in and gave her an overhaul. And you can also change the voice as well. Now, one of the really cool features that I really like is iTunes. They went and redid iTunes, giving it a fresh new look, but also offered you now iTunes Radio. Now, one of the cool features that I just found out the other day in iTunes Radio is, so say like we're listening to the hip hop station, right? There might be songs that you don't want to hear the swears, or you're in the car with the kids and you don't want them to hear the swears, or you just might not like explicit music. So they do have a selection here to allow explicit tracks or not. So you can turn it on and off. And if you turn it on or off, it will not play explicit tracks for you while you're listening to the iTunes Radio. And you can turn it on and off at your will. Also, another cool feature in iTunes now is if you bought CDs off of the iTunes store, so you went and bought all your CDs. When I just got my phone, I was like, 42 albums are on my phone. I was like, how? I didn't even put music on here. Well, all your music that's in the cloud is now on your phone. That's why you'll see like the little cloud symbol, so I can download the album if I wanted to, or I can just play it from the cloud right onto my phone, which now allows my phone to have even more space without having to bog it down with music, which I have about 38 gigs of music alone. That would take up half my phone. On my phone right now, I have about 30 gigs of pictures. I take a lot of pictures for Instagram. Follow me at Bucket TV. But yeah, I really like the iTunes feature on this phone.